2 years after the agonizing experience in Beijing, the team received great news. A compact lamp with a brightness of over 5,000 lumens was successfully developed. This meant that they could produce a brightness of 20,000 lumens with 4 lamps. The team immediately created a prototype, which was contained inside the same size box as a 10,000 lumen projector.
Were other manufacturers' 20,000 lumen projectors much bigger?
Yes, they were twice as large. It's not finished yet, but we can definitely make it.
The problem was the schedule. The initial completion date was November 2012, after the Olympic Games. The man responsible for steering the team towards completion in time for London was Koichi Kawashima.
They told me, we need this kind of sample, and that means development costs. So I told them to just go ahead and start. And in the meantime, I tried to find the budget to cover their needs. And if they needed more people, well, that also affects the budget, but I approved that as well. So we began to push for a May shipment.
He reallocated the necessary staff and funds he had initially set aside for other products. As a result, the development team was under massive pressure.
We faced problems every day. There wasn't a day that we could sit back with relief. We addressed each task, each problem, solved it, and then went on to the next. It was really hectic. It's hard to say what I was doing back then because there's so much going on.
Did you ever feel like giving up?
No, absolutely not. We pushed forward every day with a strong will to finish it, with the need to finish it.
This tenacity bore fruit. January 2012, the projector was completed. The DZ21K. It completely overturned what people expected of conventional 20,000 lumen class projectors. Panasonic reduced some of the key features to half the levels expected and balanced high image quality and high reliability with low operation costs. They took pride in developing something different from their competitors. The very first 20,000 lumen image projected, Matsumoto gazed in wonder at the beauty.
I thought it was brighter, and the colors had become better. It was finally complete. I was overwhelmed with joy.
It wasn't just the brightness. It added layers of possibilities to performances. For example, screens may not necessarily be flat. When the images are projected onto distorted surfaces, straight lines also become distorted. But if the geometric adjustment function is used, straight lines can be projected as straight lines, even on curved surfaces. Also, in order to project portrait images, the team made it possible for the projectors to be placed upright. February 29, 2012. The team received news from London that their projector would be officially adopted for the opening ceremony. This was a first for Panasonic. Panasonic won the pitch, which involved fierce competition over performance, as well as price, size, and impact on the environment.
What I remember feeling most is that our efforts had paid off.
Did you receive the news by phone?
Yes, I think I got the call from Yuki-san. We were both ecstatic.
When I heard we had been selected, we were very happy, of course. But I also braced myself for what was to come. So that's how I felt back then.
June. The Olympic Games was just around the corner. Preparations began. Matsumoto, who was in charge of development, arrived at the stadium. Taking the first step into the stadium. This is where the new projector they poured their heart and soul into, the DZ21K, would be performing.
This all didn't seem real, but coming here, thinking about where they would be placing them has brought it to life. Can't wait to show them what we've got.
His colleague in charge of installation technology was already on site. Yuji Ito, an expert who would be supervising the installation and adjustment of the projectors.
Every angle, you can see.
The success of these projectors at the opening ceremony was all up to this man.
There's a bar there, and we'll be attaching them here. We will have two projectors side by side, which will project images onto the screen in the center.
A screen in the center.
Yes, it hasn't been set up yet.
Is it going to be a normal screen?
No, we've been told it's going to be unique in shape. It's not flat, a bit wavy. I think something like that.
Installation began. The installation team carries the projector with ease. In the past, they needed 4 or 5 people to carry each projector.
It's the lightweightness is just phenomenal. In that 2 people can lift it. The competition, you struggle with 2 people trying to lift a similar projector of this brightness.
These projectors can be easily installed overhead, especially because they are very compact. Panasonic UK, located outside London. Ito and Matsumoto and other members of the team were discussing installation and adjustments that needed to be made. They had just received a very difficult request. According to the local organizing committee's plans, a total of 26 projectors were to be set up in 8 locations. And they wanted to place nearly half of these upright. Portrait images are difficult to adjust.
Normally screens would be flat, two-dimensional, but this time it's a unique shape. We need to overlap images from 2 or 3 20,000 lumen projectors onto a complex surface. So I think pretty complicated adjustments will be necessary.
Finally, the rehearsals began.